Hello, welcome to our Conrad investors pitch about a ethanol-based biofuel that is created from genetically modified tobacco. My name is Isaiah Wang.
And I'm Clara McAllister. Our project is regarding tobacco biofuels. TABACo Automobile Biofuel Alternative Company is trying to find an alternative use for tobacco. The main purpose of this project is to try and help farmers and companies who grow tobacco to continue having means of living as we discourage smoking and the use of tobacco products as drugs. Another reason why our product is so important is that it's going to help combat climate change. The use of fossil fuels in cars greatly impacts greenhouse gases. The use of biofuels, especially made by tobacco, will help decrease the amount of greenhouse gases put into our atmosphere. Overall, this will also help human health in the long run for both smoking purposes and environment purposes. This graphic design shows a simplified version of the process that tobacco goes through to become fuel. The main parts of this project are bioengineering and chemistry. Once tobacco is dried, most chemicals within it are harmful, which is what is used in drugs. However, tobacco can also be created into biofuel with bioengineering. The process that we plan to use would start with cyanobacteria genes that would encode for enzymes that produce alkyne, which is a type of hydrocarbon. The next step would then be to create synthetic genes that are suited for the expression in tobacco. The process will eventually have the tobacco plant take in CO2, use sunlight, and produce hydrocarbon molecules. Hydrocarbon is able to be used as a biofuel, which would be productive for the future.
Now on to business analytics. Now, for the competition in the market, many other companies, for example Exxon or Shell, have started looking into biofuels, especially those revolving around algae that can make compounds that can be easily turned into other types of diesel fuel. However, almost none of them are ethanol based, which is what our product is based around. And basically none of them go into genetic modification, especially involving tobacco. So the genetic modification and the ethanol base of our product sets us apart from all other companies and businesses and products in this industry. So how are we going to bring it into the market? Well, as for physically bringing it, the process for fuels and other biofuels is fairly streamlined. First of all, we would need to find a refinery or a manufacturer to partner with. Producing enough fuel in-house or in laboratories to be able to make a profit and have a noticeable effect on the market and on the environment is impossible for us to do. And therefore, we would need a refinery or a larger production facility in order to make all of that fuel. Secondly, for shipping, there are many companies that ship oil, so we would hopefully want to partner with one of those as well to ship all of our fuel. And lastly, we want to partner with as many gas stations as possible, franchises such as Exxon, Shell, many others, to get our fuel in as many places as possible to reach as many customers as possible. Government contracts can also help bring it to the market, as many government departments and agencies are required to use greener options, and our biofuel would certainly qualify for that. Lastly, most of bringing our product to the market will come from marketing, informing everyday Americans and citizens about the benefits of biofuels and why our tobacco-based biofuel is both better for the environment, better for their costs, and better for everyone in the community. As for costs, like we said before, we want to partner with refineries and with shipping companies. Specifically, what we mean is that we want to license our product to them for production and for shipping, meaning we don't incur very much, if at all, cost for making our fuel, and we can just gather the royalties. Most of our budget then will go into marketing, as in order to be successful in this field and in this industry, we need lots of consumers and lots of citizens to buy our fuel over alternatives. In pursuit of that, our company is asking for around $25,000 in advertising per year. And that would only be the first year, perhaps more in coming and continuing years. We would also ask for around $10,000 for research and development in genetic testing for tobacco, making more efficient methods of making the actual fuel, any type of research, so around $10,000 there, and with contingencies built in, we would ask for around $40,000 in yearly budget for our company. As for the Summit Challenge, with 2 people going to the Kennedy Space Center for hotel and food, we would ask for around $800. Lastly, funding. So most of the initial funding will come from donations, friends and family, and individual fundraising from schools, scholarships, stuff like that, in order to just start development and start producing the first batches of fuel. Then we would also, after making a successful product, want to go to the government for grants. The government is constantly looking for new products and greener products, so our research into biofuels and into tobacco-based biofuels would certainly interest them, and hopefully we could get a government grant to continue researching and developing. After which, once we're ready for commercial business, we want to find a private investor or multiple private investors that have experience in the fuel industry. The industry is extremely competitive, so not only would we be able to get funding from these private investors, but also experience, guidance, and mentorship into breaking into these markets, and connections from them as well, especially connections with larger franchises and with larger, gas stations, manufacturers, refineries, and such.
Thank you for taking the time to listen and consider our product. We hope you are interested in what we have presented, and we are excited to hear your feedback.